Legion, it's Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Civilization 6 Gathering Storm in our Carthage series. We have an interesting episode or two or three or four ahead of us. I don't know how much longer this series is going to last. Of course, the end game of Civilization 6, even on quick speed, takes a little bit longer and just more time for each turn to process than the previous ages. But we are definitely in a situation where our deck is stacked against us, and our work is cut out for us. So we want to declare war on Rome. We've been wanting that for a while. At the end of the last episode, I was like, hey, maybe we should declare war on, oh, look, those are airplanes. So we're going to build as many core and army units in the area of Nazca and Kumasi as we can, because I don't see many cores and armies at the moment. And those can at least maybe go toe-to-toe a little bit better with some of the more modern units. It's still going to be incredibly challenging to do, especially with the Emperor level combat bonuses. As we discussed earlier in the series, it just looks like Rome had the opportunity. I mean, look at all of these Roman cities that don't have names of any other civilization. They just had space to expand. Maybe barbarians were not as much of a problem for them as they were for us, and they capitalized. And this was a bit of a runaway AI situation. And if we had managed to take Kumasi, we probably could have turned it around, and we got somewhat close, but they did more damage than we're expecting. So the other aspect of this is that we are 2 turns away from a new Dark Age. We weren't able, despite progress made in past episodes, we were not able to turn things around and achieve enough era score for a normal age. Now, we still have 2 turns. Well, 1 turn, really. I've got to finish this turn. Maybe a turn and a half would be the right way to say it. And we could potentially earn a little bit more, but we need 6 more altogether in order to avoid falling into a Dark Age. So we'll have to see. I mean, this canal is about to be finished, and I think that's our first canal. So maybe that'll be some era score, and maybe because we have Taj Mahal, that'll give us some. Fingers crossed that there will be, something there. But let's go ahead and take a look at what I can build in the city of Carthage. Doesn't appear that there's too much for me to improve. There is that antiquity site that I've got to get to relatively soon. I have the ability to train artillery now, as well as infantry. We also have the ability... Hang on, let's take a quick look at this. Yeah, I can go ahead and make this promotion now, too. So at least there's that. We are finally able to start looking at... I think I want to do the artillery first. Oh, good. I've got enough to do a couple of these. Just requires 1 oil. Why does that sound cheaper than it should be? I'm not going to complain. Not going to complain at all. We do have some archaeologist work to do here. That's good. That was a little bit of error score. That's helpful. Maybe we'll be okay. Maybe we'll pull it out like we did last time with I think it was either a normal age or a golden age. But all right, so I've got a couple of artillery cores. That makes me a little bit more optimistic. And of course, this field cannon. Now, I had you going up here. Why? That's right, there's a field cannon there. That's why. That's a very good reason. All right, so now I've got a couple of field cannon cores, and eventually those are going to be armies. Now, what else can we... The question is, what can we produce in Carthage? We've got a cavalry unit nearby there. I suppose... cavalry isn't the worst idea. Kind of want to train or build the military academy first in Carthage, but that's 9 turns. I don't think we have that kind of time. One thing I want to do is have some naval units in play to where I can mess with Rome around the edges of things. Like, for instance, maybe build a privateer that I can then upgrade into a submarine. Let's do that in Carthage. Let's take advantage of that position, because that is one city that can produce naval units to mess with this outer border of Rome. So I think that would be a viable kind of, not a literal flanking strategy, but a figurative flanking strategy, because I'm, doing 2 things at once. I guess it is kind of literal flanking. It's 2 different directions of attack. Garuda is still growing. I mean, it's on production focus. If I put you on food focus, it doesn't get much faster. And there's a lot of improvement that still has to be done around here. Why don't... I'm just going to do the lighthouse in Garuda. It's a shame that it's taking this long to build, but it is what it is. All right, let's get a Trajan artifact. We have an axe. Very good. This trader can... Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think we're mainly focused on production. Let's make sure that's still the best route. Yep, it is. Trade with Lipicui, aka Leptis Magna. And then we have Shipped Ball, who can neutralize governors, smear campaigns, and steal technologies quite effectively. Let's go ahead and steal another tech from Rome. That's been going well so far. Now, you're a debater. Yes, you are. I'd forgotten about that. And was that from Glory of Rome 2, or was it from this series? I can't recall. I think it was Glory of Rome 2. Anyway. No. See, it did it unless... What just happened there? Hang on. That... I'll have to go back and watch to see if I, like, clicked on that. Maybe I clicked on that when I was clicking and dragging, but I keep talking about how... Let's put that pin back. There are weird drag select issues that I can't quite put my finger on. But I feel like that one might have been my fault. I might have just clicked on ruins. Trader. Lixus to Tyre? Yeah, you're still growing. You're a brand new city. Keep that up and let's go to the next turn. For better or for worse. No. Sorry, Nubia. Not going to give up any of my great works. I'm stealing as many of those as possible. Thank you very much. All right, let's see what happens with our canal. Cross your fingers that this is all the air score we need. The opening of the Utica Canal brings renewed trade and prosperity. 3
Chemistry
air score.
is the dirty part of physics.
That means we're 1 shy. 1 shy. Maybe there's something that I can do. I could potentially promote you or upgrade you. Maybe that was our first infantry. No, that's not good enough for air score. Okay. So much for that. I can apparently promote or purchase an Inquisitor. Good to know. Let's go ahead and choose our next technology. I think it's high time we chose flight, especially because we need the observation balloons to support our artillery as best as possible. It's a shame we didn't get 4 air score for that. I was really thinking we'd get 4. I thought it was a 3 default. But anyway, so now we have a canal. Not that it really matters as much anymore with the ice being gone. The ice is receding now that global warming is set in. Most pointless canal in the history of canals. You can just sail around the city now. But hey, we got some air score, so it wasn't completely pointless. Let's do... We need to train some more military units. I wish they were a little bit faster here. We also have an archaeologist option. Tell you what, I'm going to do a privateer out here. So this is the coastal city, and that's actually one of the faster options that I have. And Ugarit, we're going to get a builder going. Ooh, what can you do? Yeah, let's send you up that direction. I don't know that we are going to get this golden age. I think we're going to be 1 shy. All right, so if I think I want growth for you. So let's do a food boost. Well, maybe there's already a trade route boosting Ugarit. Is there? Yes, there is. So in that case, yeah, production sounds great. Production sounds wonderful. Why don't you trade with Utica? That way we're maximizing the food you're bringing in each turn. And there goes Alex. Shut up. I don't want to hear it, dude. To be fair, I never want to hear it. But, alright, so we are about to enter... Oh, hey! Trajan has declared war on us. That makes my job easy. Let's... Okay, well... Amanitore? If I beat Rome and Alexander and the game is still going, I'm coming for you next. That's a big if, but I'm just letting you know. I'm coming for you next. Alright, so this field cannon core needs to right over here. Oh, they can't actually fire this turn. That sucks. Beruta is now looking at a rebellion in 7 turns. What else are we looking at? Carthage is okay loyalty-wise. So is Kitty and Sidon, but Beruta, unless it grows, is not going to get out of this very easily. It's the loyalty pressure from nearby Roman cities. Okay, well, now that we're in the Dark Age, and Rome has just declared war on us, we have got our work cut out for us. Not looking good. And which city-states are we at war with? None. That's good, at least. Alright, so we definitely have grievances. Oh, wait, are you at war with... Oh, we're allied with Persia and Cleo, of course, so that means... grievances to go around. Alright, so both Alexander and Trajan are in Golden Ages. Wonderful. So not only did we get a Dark Age, he's in a Golden Age, so the loyalty dynamic between our cities is even worse. Let's see. Era score for combat victories is potentially good. We're about to be doing a lot of fighting. But we're also going to be doing lots of spying. An extra era score for each successful offensive spy operation could be our best choice. I don't see that many cores, so I feel like the spies are a more surefire thing. Let's do that. Espionage has been part of the plan for a while. I've got some tiles I need to improve. Or not improve, but repair would be the correct term. Okay. Need to plunder some Roman trade routes. That's a lot of extra gold. Thank you for that. Have to make some very careful decisions in just a moment, including setting up potential combat bonuses through our government. But for now, let's continue to think in terms of... I think I need to build more land units. We don't have any cuirassiers at the moment. And that's heavy cavalry, so those will eventually be tanks. So it's probably a good idea to go ahead and build a few of those at least. The anti-tank crew promotion is ready. So that's good to know. Also, can I... Yeah, you can also be promoted to a medic. So we have the medic units, and those will be very useful given our current predicament. We could steal their builder from them right now, which would be hilarious, but I don't think that unit would fare particularly well if I ran them in to do that. So, let's see. Okay, before I make combat decisions, a few more things to do. Alright, so Rome already has a little bit of war weariness on their hands. Serves them right. We do have this mechanized infantry unit to worry about. Hopefully this field cannon corps can hold them off to a certain extent. Gain some experience in the process. Another thing we could potentially do to raise the loyalty of Beruta would be... I don't want to lose this cavalry unit, but I want to... Well, we already have the field cannon corps in Beruta, so never mind. I couldn't see them behind the ruins indicator. I need to take that ruins indicator away. Delete. Yeah. Of course I knew the field cannon was there. I was just talking about them, but I was just thinking in terms of what else can we do to raise their loyalty. We can put a governor in that city. If we got a governor promotion, which we will be getting in 4 turns, but we're not working on radio, so we can't get it any sooner than 4 turns from now. Let's see. Anything more to improve around here? There is the Cocoa there. That could be helpful. Also, Lixus apparently needs power. Let me go ahead and work on a coal power plant. Any Roman religious units in the area? Not any that I see. Okay. Trajan artifact into Mosaic, and that was the last charge for that particular unit. So, combat decisions. I was testing to see if I could pillage that. I cannot. So hopefully this infantry will hold their own against whatever Rome might throw at Kitty. I'm hoping that he takes a pretty strong forward offensive. I will go ahead and move that artillery there, just so they have one more tile forward to work with. I'm nervous about Baruta. Is there anything we can do in the meantime? We can move Reina, potentially, but I think that would be bad for Carthage. I don't know that Carthage could withstand. And what's their loyalty situation at present? Rising 8.1. I would actually still be okay. Hold on a second. All of a sudden, I need to check this. Oh yeah, that's right. We've moved our capital, and so the maximum loyalty bonus for coastal cities like Carthage and Baruta, and these over here, no longer applies. We're getting other bonuses. Let's go ahead and take a look at our situation here. Oh man, okay. All right, I see how it is, game. Thanks for that. I think I can go ahead and not worry about the unit upgrades discount. 100% combat experience for all units, but plus 2 gold to maintain each combat spy unit. I love that idea. Because I think I have enough gold, and I'm going to be stealing lots of gold from Rome, from pillaging trade routes and other pillaging for that matter. I'm going to pillage as much as I can, especially since pillaging rewards in the late game have been buffed. So why don't we go ahead and confirm that policy. The extra combat experience could be really helpful. I'm going to get Oligarchic Legacy back as soon as I possibly can, but the combat experience, first and foremost, I think is going to be the way to go. All right, so having done that, I'm going to go ahead and reassign Reina to Baruta. Okay, is that... Alright, so it hasn't recalculated yet. It's going to be more than 7 turns. It's still falling, though. So what happens... What we need to happen is we need Baruta to just grow. Either that or I need to buy the lighthouse. Which is possible if I can pillage some more trade routes in the next turn or two. I might be able to swing that. Where else do I have naval units at the moment? I've got this guy up here exploring. I gave this order a while ago. As much as I would like you to keep exploring, I'd rather have you down here to help out with the potential effort of plundering trade routes. Alright, Governor Reina has been moved to Baruta. Yes, I know. Carthage is still full loyalty, as I expected. Pericles wants the Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and they're willing to give me 9 gold per turn for 30 turns, spices, and some political favor. I'm going to say no. Yikes. There goes that cavalry unit at the mercy of their airplanes. This could be bad. Because I don't really have a means to fight back against the airplanes. Not really. They can shred me with their air power alone, given that in the Gathering Storm expansion, words, air power was finally buffed. Really? A catastrophic eruption right now? I mean, we got some fertilized tiles, which is nice. So, same volcano that erupted a few episodes back. We acquired the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Huck Finn. From Rome, actually. Now, there are no more great works to steal in Rome, but there's more to steal in terms of funds. So let's go ahead and do that, because I need those funds. Let's see, city ranged attack. I don't know that my ranged units are going to be able to do that much. Yeah, 17 turns now. Incorporate it yet. I don't know if my ranged attacks are going to be able to do that much against planes. Is what I was trying to say. But we can earn some extra XP from combats where we are successful. It's just that I'm now thinking in terms of, man, we've really got to get inside Kumasi's territory and take these cities before these planes wreck me. Because there's nothing protecting any of my units really right now from Rome's moves. I'm looking at how much damage my units would do to Kumasi, which is not much. The artillery would. I think what we pretty much have to do is move forward and see, kind of dare his ire a little bit. I don't have any choice but to be a little bit more forward in what I'm doing. Alright, now I can pillage that for some science. That cavalry corps is absolutely in danger, but again, I don't think I have much of a choice. This field cannon corps is in danger too, and could very well die in the next turn. Interesting. Wasn't expecting the counterfire. I don't think it did any damage. But there was definitely some counterfire there. This is not good. If you didn't notice. Was kind of expecting it, but it's the unexpected development of the airplanes that is really throwing me for a loop. All right, and now Carthage is showing a loyalty dip as well, but it's going to take a long time for that city to rebel. All right, Archaeological Museum is almost done in Anuk. City of Kitty needs to build stuff. Man, I really wish I had had a little bit longer. That is like the motto of this entire game. I mean, I lost the cavalry unit, and I could very well lose another in just a moment. Another field cannon might not be the worst idea. And I have this guy down here too, I forgot about him. Let's move him along. Any other units I forgot about? I mean, we lost several in the war, and we were focusing on kind of rebuilding. Alright, so the attack range on these things, I need... It's 2. I really thought it was 3 for artillery. Did they change that? Or am I just so used to having artillery that... Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm so used to having artillery that have the observation balloons supporting them already, which I have to wait a few more turns before that happens. I do, however, have the ability to plunder some more trade routes, and we are absolutely going to do that. And then I have the ability in Beruta to purchase the lighthouse outright, which will help the city grow faster, much faster as a matter of fact, and possibly help us keep it. I really, really hate that it's taking this long, though. Yeah, that 4th citizen might make the difference. Catastrophic eruption. So we have to repair those tiles again, but they are very nice tiles for Lixus at this point. So there's at least that. Okay, that time I know I didn't click it. It was when I released the mouse. Or maybe I did. Maybe when I click dragged, there was something about that particular one. I'm just going to remove these because I end up doing that too much. We'll look at those a little bit later. Plus, they're marked now, given when you select an archaeologist, they're highlighted, so I don't really need those pins in the first place. Not used to having that, but that's a new addition to the game, so hey. Alright, so you're siphoning funds. We did get some of our dedication bonus as a result of that successful spy mission. Alright, let's go to the next turn and see how much Rome shreds us in one turn as we end this episode. It's going to be kind of foreboding. Wow. 15 gold per turn for 30 turns. I'm going to refuse this deal. I can't give up anything that's giving me culture. Interesting, the field cannon corps survived. Our trader from Carthage to Tyre had a little bit of problems there. Alright, so the core units are doing okay, and the combat experience they're gaining, alright, nice. So we have a nice theater square in Lipkiwi. The combat experience they're gaining is quite strong. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, we definitely want the garrison promotion for you. Incendiary's promotion for you, and some extra air score. That worked out. This privateer can officially start sailing around. Let's see what you can discover there. We're going to have to move you out of harm's way a little bit. We can take them straight back to Kitty, and we're going to do that. We're going to move you back here.
If you can walk away from
and there we go.
It's a good landing. If you use the airplane the next day, it's an outstanding landing.
Indeed. Okay, well, before I get too entrenched in this turn, because there's still a lot of decisions to be made, I'm going to repair that tile, and then and I could potentially lose that builder next turn if they get cheeky with this infantryman. But I'm going to stop this one here. Oh, hey. I could do a lot of damage to you right now if I fought with that ranger. I don't want to lose that ranger, and I would almost certainly lose them. That's tempting, though. Yeah, we're going to stop this one here. In the next one, we're going to keep pushing back against Rome. Hopefully, we're going to be able to take out a number of his units. The main problem is the airplanes. If we can resist the airplanes enough that we are actually gaining combat experience, right, and level up, become more powerful, with the promotions, we will, of course, heal and potentially be able to at least pillage the crap out of these cities, potentially take one or both of them in the opening, well, not really the opening leg of the war, but before Rome can really do any major damage to me, because I don't see any major frontline movements. I'm not quite sure what his logic for declaring war was, unless he has a force on the way that's just in the fog of war right now, so we'll have to see. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every other day at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.